Hello and welcome. Today, we'll explore adjudications related to various business legislations. Let's start by looking at disputes under the Partnership Act of 1932. Common issues include breach of agreement, profit-sharing problems, or partner misconduct. These are typically handled in civil courts. It's important to note that registered partnerships have enforceable rights, while unregistered firms have much more limited legal recourse. Next, we have matters related to the Commercial Courts Act of 2015. This act covers commercial disputes, especially those arising from contracts and business-to-business relationships, provided the dispute value is 3 lakh rupees or more. These cases are tried in commercial courts or the commercial divisions of high courts. The litigation process under this act has specific steps. There's a mandatory pre-institution mediation phase required before filing a suit, unless urgent interim relief is needed. This mediation should ideally be completed within 3 months, with a possible 2-month extension. Also, you can't file separate appeals against interlocutory orders. Any challenges must wait until an appeal against the final decree. For appeals, if the case was heard by a commercial court below the district judge level, the appeal goes to the commercial appellate court at the district level within 60 days. If it was heard by a commercial court at the district judge level or the commercial division of a high court, the appeal goes to the commercial appellate division of the high court, also within 60 days. Ideally, these appeals should be resolved within 6 months. Moving on to the SARFAESI Act of 2002, this legislation provides a direct enforcement mechanism for creditors to secure their interests without needing to file a lawsuit. However, borrowers can appeal these actions, such as the possession or sale of assets, before the Debt Recovery Tribunal, or DRT. Further appeals can be made to the Debt Recovery Appellate Tribunal, or DRAT. Do remember, for these appeals to proceed, the borrower usually needs to deposit a portion of the claimed amount beforehand. Now let's look at proceedings and applications before the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, or MCA. This covers matters under the Companies Act and the Limited Liability Partnership Act of 2008. Most applications and compliance filings, like name approvals or Section 8 registrations, are handled administratively through the MCA's online portal. However, more serious disputes or compliance failures can escalate to the National Company Law Tribunal, or NCLT. For matters and disputes related to the Indian Trusts Act of 1882, common issues include misuse of trust funds, breaches of fiduciary duty by trustees, or conflicts among trustees. These disputes are typically addressed by civil courts. Trusts can also face additional compliance scrutiny from income tax or charitable regulation authorities. Regarding the Societies Registration Acts, including the 1860 Act and the Tamil Nadu Registration of Societies Act of 1975, typical disputes involve internal conflicts like elections or instances of fund misuse. These are addressed either by the Registrar of Societies or in civil courts. Societies must diligently maintain proper financial records and ensure periodic filings to avoid penalties. Section 8 companies are unique as they are non-profit organizations formed for charitable, social, or educational purposes. Issues concerning their formation, governance, and compliance are regulated by the Registrar of Companies. The NCLT gets involved, particularly in cases of license revocation or management disputes within these entities. Turning to the Income Tax Act, non-profit organizations, including trusts, societies, and Section 8 companies, can claim tax exemptions. These are available under various sections, such as 11, 12, 80G, and 1023C. To be eligible for these exemptions, they must register with the Income Tax Department and adhere to specific reporting standards. Finally, disputes concerning these non-profit organizations under the Income Tax Act often involve the denial of exemptions, misreporting of income, or misuse of donations. Such tax adjudications can lead to proceedings before the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals, or CITA, and further to the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, or ITAT. Thank you for listening.